Hey, Cowboys Nation! Are you ready for some tough news? NFL Cowboys news today. We've got some major updates on the Dallas Cowboys, especially regarding Jerry Jones' comments that are stirring up all kinds of emotions. From NFL free agency to Dak Prescott's future, and the team's spending habits, things are getting a little uncomfortable. Grab your popcorn because we've got a lot to unpack, and trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Let's dive into it. First off, let's talk about Jerry Jones. As the owner, general manager, and public face of the Cowboys, Jones holds all the cards, and his recent comments have some Cowboys fans scratching their heads. But what exactly did he say? Well, Jerry Jones is known for speaking his mind and making bold decisions, and it looks like his approach to team spending could be coming under fire. Recently, he talked about how the Cowboys' budget for free agency is a little more restricted than expected. With this year's NFL salary cap being a major challenge, it's clear Jones is adjusting his strategy. Many fans were hoping that the Cowboys would be aggressive in free agency this offseason, adding a big-name player or two to complement Dak Prescott and the squad. But instead, Jerry has been rather cautious with his words, suggesting that the team won't be spending lavishly this year. Now, Cowboys fans are wondering, how does this impact the team's ability to compete for a Super Bowl? Let's break down why this is such a big deal. Free agency is one of the most exciting times of the NFL calendar. It's when teams have the opportunity to fill key gaps and push for a championship. But for the Cowboys, who already have a tight salary cap, that spending spree may not come as freely as we hoped. There are some massive names on the market this offseason, and we know the Cowboys need help in some areas. From strengthening the defense to giving Dak Prescott more weapons in the passing game, free agency is the perfect chance to reload. But Jerry Jones is playing it cool, saying that they won't go all in this year. So what does this mean for the Cowboys? Well, some fans are starting to worry that the lack of aggressive spending might leave the team vulnerable. You can't just sit back and expect the same group of players to get it done. Dallas has made some key moves over the years, but a lack of big-name signings could put them at a disadvantage compared to the competition. But it's also important to remember that Jerry Jones has been successful with the Cowboys before by not always going for the splashiest moves. Sometimes, it's the under-the-radar signings that make the difference. Now, let's talk about Dak Prescott. As the face of the franchise, his performance is critical, but there's been some tension around his contract situation and future with the team. Jerry Jones recently commented on Dak's leadership, his potential, and how the team's success ultimately falls on his shoulders. But what's troubling to fans is that there was no mention of Dak being the main priority in terms of financial investment. This has raised eyebrows, especially after Dak signed a massive contract extension a few years ago. With Jerry's recent comments, it seems like there's some hesitation to fully commit to Dak in the way we expected. Sure, he's been a solid performer, but there are still those questions. Can Dak Prescott elevate the team enough to get them to the next level? Will his inconsistency in big games hold the Cowboys back in their championship pursuit? These are questions that Jerry Jones and the front office need to answer soon. So, what's really behind Jerry Jones' reluctance to spend? One of the big factors is the Cowboys' salary cap situation. Right now, the Cowboys are sitting tight with a salary cap that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for flexibility. The team has made some big financial commitments in recent years, including Dak Prescott's contract, Ezekiel Elliott's extension, and other long-term deals. But as we all know, a cap salary means you can't just go out and sign everyone you want. This tight cap situation means the Cowboys will have to make some tough decisions. Will they restructure some of these big contracts to free up space? Will they let go of aging veterans or move on from players who aren't living up to expectations? We've already seen this with Zeke's release last season. Jerry Jones, while known for being willing to spend big, also knows that long-term financial health is critical to sustain success. And that means balancing his books carefully. Let's talk about the fans' reaction. Cowboys fans have always been passionate, and it's clear that Jerry Jones' recent comments aren't sitting well with a lot of the fanbase. Some are frustrated that the team isn't going all in, while others are tired of waiting for the team to make a real Super Bowl push. Dallas hasn't had a championship in decades, and the frustration is building as the years go by without a title. But it's not all negative. There are also fans who feel that Jerry's cautious approach may be exactly what the team needs. After all, the Cowboys have made big moves in the past that didn't always pay off, like the deal for Amari Cooper or the expensive contracts for defensive players that didn't make a big enough impact. Maybe it's time for a more balanced approach. The truth is, it's a tough line to walk. So, what's next for the Cowboys? It's clear that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office have a lot to think about. With the tight salary cap and a reliance on Dak Prescott's development, this offseason could be crucial for the team's future. Will Jerry take a more measured approach to free agency, or will he surprise us with some bold moves? Time will tell, but one thing's for sure: the pressure is on. Fans are expecting results, and whether it's through free agency, the draft, or internal development, the Cowboys need to make moves that put them in the conversation for a Super Bowl. Alright, Cowboys Nation, that's a wrap for today's video. It's clear that Jerry Jones has a lot on his plate, and with comments like these, the future of the Cowboys is anything but certain. What do you think? Are you worried about the Cowboys' lack of spending, or do you think Jerry's approach is the right one? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more Cowboys news, and share this with your fellow fans. We'll be back soon with more updates. Until next time, stay tuned and keep rooting for America's team.